Oh yes, we're back. Hi friends, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to Elden Ring. We're going to be getting right back into it with the black bow. I've not done any leveling between streams or anything. I think we're probably good to just have a few cracks at Radagon. We got no rune arcs left, so we're going in solo like this. I need to check that my arrow supplies are okay. They should be fine for now. At least for a couple of attempts, because you can't use over 99 arrows in combat anyway. So we're just going to go for it. We'll see if we get to finish the game right away, in which case we'll be starting the Black Knife run, but something tells me this is going to take a few tries, so bear with me while we buff a little bit here, and we'll get into it. Fire arrows first with Mimic Tear, and then we'll see what happens after that. No cutscenes this time either, because we saw them last time, so... Oh, I forgot which pouch he was on. There he is. And I immediately get killed. I think that's Fire Scorpion Charm, you know? I think Fire Scorpion Charm means I take a little extra damage, so... fight on, Mimic Tear! Yeah, like I said, it's going to take me a couple of attempts. At least we didn't have a rune arc. That would have been embarrassing. But the rune arc might have saved me, to be fair, because I might have had a little more HP. Anyway, now we know what we're doing wrong. Let's try that again. Thanks for sticking around from the Minecraft, folks. Hope the afternoon/evening is treating you well. I imagine for some people, if you're just dropping in, it might still be the morning. If you're on the Pacific coast of the US. Quickest death today? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Thing is, I really want to take full advantage of the fact that we can get a couple of free shots in before he starts parrying. But then I need space to summon Mimic Tear like here, and I don't get to, because he's got too much other stuff going on, so... Okay, we got some space there, that's nice. Although I'm pretty sure Mimic Tear is just going to get hit immediately at occasions like that. Like, his parrying stance doesn't do anything when we're behind him, which is the whole goal here, is to split his attention between the Mimic Tear and me, ideally with a focus on me, because I'm better at evading, despite the evidence to the contrary. We need to keep some blue meter for Elden Beast, though, because we are going to need to use Barrage a few times for that. Radagon can also be poisoned, so we could potentially use poison arrows for this, where they're not going to really help much against Elden Beast because it's immune to status effects. This is the point where I'm just like baiting attacks so the Mimic Tear can get a couple in from behind, but... Okay, that one was in the direction I was traveling, which was very smart. Oh. And yeah, the problem with splitting his aggro is that some of his moves become less predictable than they usually are in a melee fight. But sometimes that's to our advantage, other times not so much. Honestly, wouldn't mind the Mimic still being around for the Elden Beast fight. But I don't know if that's going to happen with this kind of heat on him. Would also like to stay alive for the Elden Beast fight, of course. Okay, we're almost there. Man, the standard arrow shot is so slow. Nice. Okay, we succeed for now. And yeah, I guess we'll switch these to some other kind of arrows in a second. Radagon's the boss you still need to get good at. Radagon is a lot of fun if you know what you're doing and you're using a melee weapon. But unfortunately, today we are using the black bow, and while I think there are plenty of opportunities to still deal decent damage with this weapon, it is an unusual one to say the least. Oh, there's magpies on my front lawn, distracting me slightly. Okay, Elden Beast takes a lot more damage from physical arrows, so the poison arrows will really help, even though we have a little bit of a buff to any fire arrows. I think I should probably switch out the Fire Scorpion charm. Okay, question is... Okay, Mimic Tear is already dead, so this is always going to be focused on me. Oh, okay, we're at the edge of the arena. Good to know. Let's quickly switch to poison arrows, not holy. We do not want holy. We'll get a barrage in if we can, just to get a little bit of DPS going. Thank you, Torrent, for taking the hit. I felt a waves of gold coming. Okay, yeah, we need to be off the horse for this one as well. Didn't matter. I just screwed up the timing. Trying to bait out a couple of melee attacks here if we can, but... like, the heftier magic attacks are kind of annoying to evade at this point. Elden Stars is probably coming up in a second as well, so just got to be aware of that. There it is, okay. Well, let's get moving. We're on jump shots from this point forward, I think. That should be enough to evade. Well, we've got 2 heals left, and that's all we can afford. I'm also going to find myself, yeah, running out of opportunities for barrage now. That one shot went absolutely nowhere for Elden Beast. I'm not sure what it was doing there, but... let's keep using Torrent. We're not going to get any good damage out of using Barrage now that we're out of FP, so... let's keep moving. We've had no decent, like, evadable melee attacks this entire time. Which is a real shame, because that's our best opportunity to deal damage. And now I'm absolutely nowhere on healing. Okay, this is 3 rings, which is pretty avoidable. Especially if I'm away from the edge of the arena. Just got to no-hit this last section. How hard could it be? How hard is Elden Beast going to make it? Pretty hard, it turns out. Good job, Torrents. Just keep using Waves of Gold. It's fine. Okay, we're down to the last few arrows, so I'm going to have to start using the poison arrows, even though they're not effective in any way. I mean, they're effective in the sense that they deal physical damage, but not in any other way that would be helpful to me right now. Oh, I got hit by the very tail end of that. That's even less health that I have at my disposal. But hopefully the beast just keeps slow walking at me. This could be it, friends. This could be it. Yes! Oh, thank goodness for that. We've done it. Oh. That was a slog, but we've done it. Thank you to the Mimic Tier for getting me through Radagon. I don't think I could have done it without him, but we managed to get the entire Elden Beast fight done in clutch fashion. And Black Betty is on her way to becoming the Elden Lord. Thank goodness for that. So we get to start Black Knife immediately, which is awesome. Let's put a few more into health. Get the health up to 49. Level 138 to finish. That's our highest level for a while, but you got to do that with bows, I think. Let's mend the Elden Ring. And let me queue up what I had in mind for Black Knife. Because I need to look at my Google Docs to remind me what the name was I had for this. Oh, I remember. I remember. I'll have to remember what he looks like. I think it's really just a facial hair thing. As is usual with the knife runs, we're going to be starting off as a bandit. We can get to the Black Knife almost immediately, but beating the Black Knife Assassin is going to be tough. I'm not sure if you can parry them, but we're going to be starting bandit, so we'll have a buckler, so we have a good chance of parrying stuff. I should have taken the helmet off first. You can't really see Black Betty's face or anything, but...
The fallen leaves tell a story.
Gonna hear that again in a second.
Of how a tarnished became Elden Lord.
Gonna use this opportunity to update the stream title.
In our home, across the fog, the lands between.
Okay, Black Knife Part 1 starts after this.
Upon us and recall
Still in the standard samurai armor, didn't change a thing.
an age
What's happened to my armor? What's going on there? Why do I have a fin? It's like it's being blown up there by a fan for some reason. I think probably just because of the character's pose, the way the legs are together. I have no idea what happened there. Thanks, Elden Ring. No Journey 2. No Journey 2 for us. So, Black Betty, Black Bow, plus 10. Finish things off with Serpent Arrows. I honestly think the Finger Seal and all of that stuff did help. And this was a really good setup until Radagon, who is obviously not the easiest to fight with bows. The next bow we have coming up is Bone Bow, which is right towards the end of the B weapons. And then we have Composite Bow and Creepus' Black Key Crossbow as the next major, like, ranged weapons. Before that, though, we have a little bit of other challenge ahead of us. But there she is, Mature Samurai. And if I take the helmet off, there you go. That's her fairly standard character creator face. Alright, and with 7 hours 26, which is still probably the fastest bow run we've ever done, we are all done with Black Betty and we're moving on. And now I need to come up with a character reference real quick, just so I can try and get this done. Yeah, it's difficult because he's like... It's an older game. I guess we can make him look Elden Ring-ified a little bit here. I'm going to hide my camera so you guys can see a little bit. And this is going to be mature, type A, golden seed. Doesn't really make sense to have much else for the bandit. Detailed appearance. We're going to have probably that skin tone. Maybe a little bit warmer if we can. Maybe like a little bit closer to that. Or maybe a little darker. Yeah, I think that's probably good. Face structure, what do you got? That's pretty close. Yeah, I'd say that's probably the closest we're going to get. Can we have form emphasis? Apparent age, maybe a little bit younger. Facial aesthetic, a bit more masculine. Aim for hollow cheeks a little bit. And then hairstyle. This is how he starts. As for how he ends up, it's probably a little bit closer to like the standard ponytail look. Or maybe this one. Oh, we'll go with that one. Yeah, that works. His hair color is definitely a lot darker, so we'll go to adjust and we'll just kind of bring it down into the dark brown range. Like a little bit more saturation in there. That seems good. Doesn't need to be too lustrous. We don't need any white hairs in there, although maybe a few. We'll leave a few in there. Give this man dark roots. And then the facial hair is probably the most important thing. He doesn't really have that going on. It's probably a little bit more like that. But then later on, maybe it's closer to this. And now it sort of doesn't look like him at all. I think maybe it's the arrow, the arrows, the eyebrows. We'll do something different with the eyebrows. That's a little closer. Maybe he needs to be slightly more old looking. And can we get the cheeks? I think we need that, but then thin cheeks sort of closer to that. Maybe. Doesn't really have any prominent scars. Darker circles, maybe. Oh, I guess he does have one slightly more prominent scar. But it's sort of like over here, and it doesn't like... It cuts through his facial hair a little bit. So it's sort of over there. In a way that we can't really do. But let's aim for something like that. And we'll keep it closer to his like skin color, I guess. We won't really be able to see the resemblance until we get the armor we're looking for. But for now, because it's the Black Knife and he's the Black Knife Assassin, it's Ezio Auditore. Looks nothing like him, but I'm going from very loose character reference here, and there's like a bunch of different games he appears in, so... Anyway, here comes the bouncy ball. Sing along if you know the words.
The fallen leaves tell a story. The great Elden Ring was shattered. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Now, Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found. And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish.
Knight of the Black Knives, that sounds like something we'd get involved with this character.
Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering.
There was a point on the Monster of the Week game that we played last night that I think he used the words taint at some stage, and I was like, I wrote in my notebook, I just wrote the word taint. I'll know what it means.
A war leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all.
I just realized I didn't take any screenshots at any point during Black Betty's ending, which is a first, I think, for me. But that's because it was just a generic samurai outfit, so...
Chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant Gold Mask.
There he is, ever brilliant.
Fear, the deathbed companion. The loathsome dung-eater.
Genuinely curious who Fear is depicted with in that section, because it's somebody who has, like, one of the circlets, right? Oh, Grady, you missed this intro? Come back, Grady. Come back to the light. See the sight of grace once again in your tarnished eyes. How's Liza P going? I don't know if you have any sense of how far through that game you are, but you seem to be doing pretty well when I've dropped in.
And one other, whom grace would again bless.
Grady, we just beat Elden Beast with a bow. When I tell you this game is a masterpiece, I mean, I have heard that it's the best non-FromSoft Souls-like game. I know obviously people rave about Hollow Knight, but obviously that's a 2D platformer versus 3D open world, so... Am I doing DLC stuff? I am probably not going to be doing DLC stuff on this run because it's a base game weapon. The weapon after that we acquire from the DLC.
And become the Elden Lord.
But I won't get to that for another couple of streams. Hollow Knight's a Metroidvania, not a Souls-like. I mean, it's got a similar kind of vibe to it, with it being sort of exploration, like lore and all of that stuff. But yeah, I get the comparison. But yeah, we beat Elden Beast with a bow. We had to beat Radagon with a summon just so that some of the heat was taken off me and I could actually do reasonable DPS. But yeah, the Elden Beast run was clutch. Like, it came down to the wire, but we managed to get it. So we're going to skip Grafted Scion, as per usual. No chance I'm parrying Grafted Scion today. Some of the other folks, though, might have a try at parrying. We're probably going to be using the starter bandit knife, the great knife, until we get hold of the black knife. So we will probably have to do a fair bit of leveling, upgrade this weapon somewhat, and then the black knife obviously will be a somber weapon, so we can just go and get the usual smithing stones for that. And this should be all good. So, Ezio is out to Limgrave. Am I doing a challenge run? So this is the Elden Ring A-Z. This is a playthrough or a challenge of sorts in which I try to beat Elden Ring with every weapon in alphabetical order, starting from a fresh character, as long as we can get hold of the weapon before Farum Azula, and starting with a New Game Plus character if the weapon is acquired after Fire Giant. Can't remember where the Black Knife is. So the Black Knife is the assassin outside of the hero's grave on Altus Plateau. It's the one that's like right before one of the sacred tiers, or where you fight Ancient Dragon Lansax if you bother to do that fight. Elden Ring Survival Guide when? You're watching it, Ecclesius. This is it. Welcome in, by the way. It's your first time in the chat. Good to see you. The one with the elevator? Yes. Yeah, so not the one outside of Lanedale, but the one that's kind of in the middle of Altus is the one we're aiming for. And hopefully we should be able to fight that assassin by the end of this stream, because I think within the first 3 hours worth of a playthrough I can get us to, like, Mogwin Palace, so we should at least have been able to fight Magnus the Beastclaw and a few other like invasions and stuff at that point. If we wanted to do something kind of similar to the Black Knife before ever acquiring the Black Knife, we could always go and get Reduvia. We won't be seeing Reduvia for a while as far as the A to Z is concerned, so that could be a good substitute for the Great Knife if we want something a bit more bleed focused. So we'll do our usual thing. Get all of the bleed grease and everything, go and fight Greyoll. I'm pretty sure this knife does bleed. So we should be able to get away with just using this instead of worrying about getting the Morning Star this time. Although the Morning Star is still nice to have for Wild Strikes and bleed build up. Can you put Wild Strikes on this knife? It's got Quick Step right now. I'm not sure what daggers can have in terms of Ashes of War, because I don't really use them that much. Anyway, Melna offers us an Accord.
They serve but you. I can turning to aid you. You need to the foot up. Then it's
Which we accept, and we need the horse.
It will summon torrent. Treat him with.
Alright. So we need this back. We need that on here. Let's go. So, down here, the Black Knife Ash deals a % base damage tick. Yes, so we will have a nice introduction to the realm of daggers. I'm not looking forward to having to fight Radagon and Elden Beast with something like the Great Knife that we've started with, or just the standard dagger. But that's something we need to worry about another time. That's a problem for Future Pixel. I also need to upload. I'm misspeaking a lot today. I need to upload some of the VODs of these streams, because I have not been doing that consistently. I've sort of been doing them in batches, and yeah, I've not done the last few weeks worth, I think, at this point. So we'll get the jellyfish, just in case we need to summon stuff, but I don't think we should. I think we'll probably be fine with the knives. My plan, because this is going to be a Faith Dex build, we'll start Dex, obviously, and then we'll go Faith a little bit later. My plan right now is to potentially have some of the Black Knife incantations, or the Destined Death incantations, as part of this, so Malekith's Black Blade being one of them. This isn't as bad as I remember it being. Future Pix gets closer every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes? What? Why is time only progressing in 5-minute chunks? Sounds like a problem for the time cops. Somebody get Van Damme on the blower. Yeah, you can stagger the scarabs, yeah. Usually you just one-shot them because you have a better weapon than the one I currently have, so... but yeah, it is possible to stagger them. Really all it does is just, like, stun them for a second. It doesn't give them... doesn't open them up to crits or anything. Anything can get staggered if you bonk enough, I mean... Phrasing? Right, back to church.
This way, tarnish.
Oh god. So much lime scale at the bottom of my teeth. I need to descale the kettle. There.
I'd heard tend upon look at talk thou art call for.
Yeah, I can call the spectral steed. What of it?
Summon their spirits now. It is that.
Not going to be seeing a whole lot of Rani, even though the Knight of the Black Knives is kind of her deal, right? So obviously we also have a few Black Knife Assassin bosses that will drop different talismans that might be kind of nice, especially since we are going to be aiming to crit fairly frequently, is my hope. Which is, yeah, one of the reasons why I'm keeping the buckler on deck, because we'll hopefully be parrying some fools. There's also a dagger talisman out there somewhere, if I can remember where the heck that is. If anybody in chat wants to remind me, please do. We'll grab these just in case we need them for any items, but I don't think we will. What's it called? Dagger talisman. What it does is increase the damage of critical hits, I believe. Found a corpse on a room, got a imp statue in Volcano Manor. Oh, interesting. I know where it is. I'm withholding information to be mysterious. That's fair. Got to keep some of the mystery alive. If it's in Mount Gelmir, though, I'll probably have to obtain that on the next stream. See what I can manage. So, we'll do Weeping Peninsula first. Grab some smithing stones. Should probably go and get the ones from Stormhill as well. But yeah, we'll do Weeping Peninsula just to get the Sacred Tears. I might grab the Morning Star just in case it's helpful, because, you know, strike damage is better than whatever the heck this thing does. Which I presume is just standard or slashing. Nice, Tinker. I like that one. Imagine some random person sees me run headfirst into a wall, not realizing you can summon torrents and negate the damage. Imagine some random person sees me on a horse leaping 100 feet into the air. Because that's definitely just happened. A huge event of air, yes. Somehow I've ridden an updraft on a horse. We'll sneak past the Knight's Cavalry. No point in dealing with him right now. Torrent and Skyrim horses would be best friends. Yes, absolutely they would. I think all video game horses would probably have some kind of secret society. Like Torrent, Skyrim horses, Epona from Legend of Zelda, or is it Epona? I never know how to pronounce it. Not sure what the emphasis is. But the horse from Shadow of the Colossus. I'm pretty sure it's called aggro. Unless that's just a word that the character is saying in the made-up language that's just a command for the horse, not its name. I think it is aggro. Which is pretty funny, considering what aggro means to most gamers. Shadow of the Colossus, phenomenal game. Apparently that studio has another game out. There was a trailer for it at, I think, the Game Awards, which looks absolutely wild. Epona is like Daytona? Okay, right, that makes sense. Just going to grab this in case we need it, because we are going to be Faith decks, and we're not going to start with a ton of Faith. I guess it means I should probably go and get the memory stones and stuff as well. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And by that bridge, I mean the Bridge of Sacrifice. We also get to see if I remember how to do the Flying Dragon Agile cheese, which we only attempted for the first time at the start of the Black Bow run. But it will definitely be worth doing if we can manage it today. A video where someone put Link and Epona into Daytona, USA. It's pretty good. How long does one of these Elden Ring playthroughs take? If you're playing through the game for the first time, my first playthrough was like 130 hours. Some folks will take 100, some folks less. Depends if you played like a Dark Souls game before and if you're used to the rhythm of these games. And if you find like good strats online, or if you're just going through completely unspoiled for the game, which was what I did the first time around. The first time around, I didn't even have, like, player messages and stuff. I played offline the whole time. And I missed a bunch of side content as a result. But yeah, the general vibe with this is about 100 hours will get you through the base game for the first time. There's more if you want it in the DLC. There's probably another, like, 40 to 60 hours if you do everything. Nowadays, provided that I'm at least proficient enough with the weapon, a single playthrough for the A to Z will take me like 5 or 6 hours. Like, we just beat the game with the black bow, and bows are not typically the greatest weapons to use as your primary weapon, but that only took 7.5 hours, so I think we did pretty well on that run. But yeah, if you're familiar with the game, it takes a lot less time because you're just going through completing the objectives you want to complete, finding the weapons you want to find. Right, we got those. Let's head down to Fort Heights, get the Dectus Medallion. We'll go via this. When they were designing this game, I wonder if they thought about players who would want shortcuts around the map once you sort of know where to go. If they thought about like the optimized routing for anything, or if they decided to just give players this stuff and allow them to adapt, you know? They just kind of put stuff in arbitrary places. Coming up 7 years of subscription in the next few months. So much time, so much stuff happened in that time. I was in trade school back then. Yeah, it's been... the last 7 years has been a heck of a decade. Just gonna hop around this guy. Grab ourselves some blood roses. Okay, just get attacked by everything, sure. My flasks are still so weak. No, I have weak flasks! Stop this! Okay, that was not bad. Excuse me. Okay, time to kick this guy in the face. There we go. Yes, it's only February. It's gonna be March soon, and I'm already feeling happier with the amount of daylight we have. Can't wait for the clocks to go forward and suddenly it's light at like 8 PM. Oh, can't wait. I had cake 2 days ago and that always makes me feel younger. Always nice when you can treat yourself, huh? Brief stop over at Mistwood Ruins. We'll get the map. And we'll do the thing. Finish a year of life, I should be allowed to treat myself a little bit. Yeah, right? It's a good way of looking at it. Rah! Somewhere in this forest, I think there's probably over there, and guarded by bears, there's a lake that has the fireflies you need to craft gold pickled fowl feet, and I feel like I should try and add that to my list of stops and then just kill a few birds on the way to see if I can maybe squeeze a few more runes out of some of these encounters. But there's never really a convenient place to just casually take out a few birds unless you're on a bow run and feel like going to the Divine Tower of Limgrave. Oh, hello, Varre. Varre with a spear, apparently. Okay, off we go to Beast Clergyman's house. A nice chill birthday, good to hear. Not going to worry about Beast Clergyman himself. We'll obviously get some good incantations from him later. Yeah, we can farm Foul Feet from Fringe Folk Hero's Grave area, but I can't be bothered to farm items, I guess. If I really wanted them that badly, I could just go and fight Patches and then buy 3 of them off of him. He sells you the recipe anyway, so pretty sure I would have to. Okay, so we've got to wait for the dragon to turn around. Approach on foot. Get yelled at. Ride horse. Wait for fire breath. Okay, good. Now I'm going to add these to the pouch before I forget. Got to get up here behind the tree. Stand in this little alcove and wait. Just check the podcast, like your commentary on Hermitcraft and the Survival Guide. Now I have another 300 hours to listen to. Yeah, you do. Well, thanks for checking out the podcast. It's one of the many things I do these days. Alright, so aggro is gone. Wait for him to get closer to the center of this circle on the bridge. We pop out. Hoo-hoo! We get behind here and shelter from the fire breath. And the next attack he does should be a flying one. Maybe after one melee attack. Oh, no, he's doing fire breath again. Okay. Incredibly robust tree, this. Okay, here we go. So we should land on the tree. We run down the bridge. He falls off the tree and gets stuck like that. And pretty soon should just die because the game insta-kills anything that falls for long enough. Heck yeah. Now we go and poke the Knight's Cavalry. 104,000 runes later. It's very funny to watch. Yeah, surprisingly consistent too. Like, he has a couple of different flying attacks he can do, and once he hits a certain position, yeah, he just ends up in that tree, and it's pretty reliable. So we're going to tag the Grace here. Knight's Cavalry's out there on the bridge, minding his own business. Dead tree sure sounds like perfect protection from Dragonfire. I know. Amazingly robust trees in Caelid. It's all the Scarlet Rot, which actually should make them more vulnerable to fire, so who knows. Bum ba bum bum ba bum ba ba bum ba ba bum ba ba bum ba bum bum ba bum bum. I really need to learn the throwing knife version of this trick, but here we are anyway. We just go down the bridge. Back around to where he can see me and tries to attack. And then when he turns, he falls. Great. Nice and clean this time. Not sure if I'm getting better at that or if I just got lucky, but either way. We are 158,000 runes to the good. And we're off to fight Greyoll for even more. Thought he'd just get teleported back to the center of the bridge. That usually happens when they wander outside of their, like, patrol zone. But if anything, including you, gets stuck in a falling animation for too long, the game just insta-kills it to, like, remove it from the world, I guess. Like, it's one of those things where if you're falling out of the world, if you've, like, missed the kill plane and fallen through the world, it's like a fail-safe of sorts to make sure that anything that falls that way doesn't just fall forever and then break the geometry of the game somehow. Alright, so now we should be able to craft some blood grease. We have another gold foulfoot ready. We'll grease this up. We'll do a few slashes with the dagger. Hopefully this will be okay. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I don't think it's quite as hold it and forget it as Wild Strikes is, but... Anarchy, thank you for the 15. The muscles around that face is very funny. I've just got to make sure I hit regularly with this combo. And the threshold for bleed increases after 3. So it's just going to take a second and probably one more blood grease. Can see some Discord notifications popping up. Yeah, I need to disable it for this server. Sorry, bear with me. Alright, let me quickly do that. It should just be off by default. It's really annoying when it does that. Privacy settings. It's got to be in there, right? This feels like one of those things that Discord always, like, resets. Streamer modes. It's not that. Where is it? Game overlay. Remove in-game overlay. Skip. Okay, that should be fine now. Didn't know that was a thing Discord could do, yeah. Two more rounds of this and we should be in the clear. Whenever I stream, Discord wasn't open on desktop out of worry. Yeah. The Great Knife Heavy is a hefty looking move. Two more of these, I think. Oh no, just one. There we go. The two-handed dagger swing. Okay, well we have
Forgive me to determine if you had. It seems torrent, whereas I may. There is, but I can take gathering.
A lot of runes now, and we're not going to go to Round Table Hold quite yet, because she is going to turn our runes to strength. Let's get to 20 vigor, put a bunch into dex.
The principles you would follow.
Might as well start faith, because we're starting from a deficit of faith. Let's get to 15. Probably put endurance up. And then put a few more into dex, because that's our principal damage stats. We're at level 49. And then if we use a couple more of these runes, we should be able to get to level 50. Yeah, easy money. $39 dex. We need to head back to Church of LA to get some arrows. Or possibly do some smithing. Since the anvil is here. But yeah, not a whole lot we can do with that.
Wait, well, you're... Goodbye.
Only a handful more arrows, but it gets us down to one rune. One singular rune. How's the challenge going? It's going well, Mojo. We just finished the game with the black bow. We're now on the black knife. I need to go and acquire that from Altus Plateau, and the game just crashed. So it was going well until that happened. But that's fine. Not sure why it just crashed. It was on a loading screen. Do not worry. In the meantime, I will make sure somebody else is added to my game. Not this game. I'm organizing an RPG. Okay, great. Looks like we're going to have a good crowd. It crashed because I said things were going well. I know. We've learned already that we need to invoke negativity with this game. Alright, so we have one rune. Good, okay, that means we've done everything and it's been saved, so let's warp to Fort Faroth again, please. Good. Glad to know that Fort Faroth is not just crashing the game. So we need the other half of the Dectus Medallion to get where we want to go. The bat ladies are sounding the alarm in there. Fortunately, I have my bat repellent shark spray. Okay, time for a bit of Assassin's Creed parkour, which Ezio is good at. Grab this golden rune. Oh, almost got ate by a rat. Imagine that. Right, now, what do we need to defeat the Black Knife Assassin at this stage? I'm thinking we need to... I think we need to go and get a few smithing stones from around here. I think we need to maybe level our vigor a little bit more. And I think we just need to level this weapon to maybe, like... plus 12 or something like that. That's what I might aim for. A bigger knife. I think the knife will be okay. I'm wondering in terms of, like, talismans and stuff as well, if there's anything particular that would work well for us. Obviously, if we need a bunch of levels, we can always go and fight Margit and Godrick and then do Varre's quest. Dex boost from the Physic. Yeah, we could get that. We could get that from Liurnia. Not a bad call. We got the Strength Knot already, but I don't know. I think the Great Knife levels with Dex primarily and Strength as a secondary, but a low secondary. Let's get the dragon over here to break open this statue, because then at least we can get to plus 13. And this is a really easy get. We just have to take this dragon for a walk. Hello. Put this on for a sec. Okay, good. It's aggro. Just gotta make sure it'll do that and then it'll follow me. We do have a short bow already, so we don't need to worry about getting a bow. Even the range of a short bow will still hit that bird in Mogwin, so... The other great thing about these dragons, don't breathe fire. They just don't do it. They knock down trees, though. They'll also knock down this statue for me. And then casually disappear. Very nice. Can I get up this? Is that the thing I can climb? Oh, it is. Oh, that saves me so much time. Right, remembering that route from now on. Although I will go down here to get the Rune Arc and the Smithing Stones from this little cluster, because I didn't want to hit the Scarab over on Dragon Barrow for 900 years. And this is a Stone Sword key? Oh no, Arteria Leaf. One of these days I'll get around to using consumables. I looked up a bow-only video of Radagon Elden Beast earlier, and the player in that was using freezing pots on Radagon first, just to slow him down some. And then ended up using the bow a lot after that, but had a ton of buffs. And so I'm thinking, like, for future bow playthroughs, especially since the black bow is supposed to be one of the better ones, I will really need to invest in learning how to use all of the stacking buffs. But then again, they were also doing like a hitless attempt, and so they were on like really low health for Red Feathered Branch Sword and a couple of the other things that give you attack buffs on low health. I think Blood Boil Aromatic does the same thing. I've never used any of the perfume items, like the aromatic things. I've just never used them at all. So that's definitely one I need to learn about. Okay, we've got all of that stuff done. Let's go back to Stormhill to get the other smithing stones. We can probably buy a couple from the merchant across Saints Bridge as well. And then I think we'll go and fight the Crystalian with the Morning Star, just because it's a strike weapon, so it'll be easier to do that fight. There we go, finally. Oh, kind of flung myself over the house there. Oh, Exalted Flesh right there. It's a free damage boost, I won't say no. We've also got Impaler's Catacombs, or Death-Touched Catacombs. I forget which one that is, but that's got one of the Black Knife Assassins in it.
Can you hear me? Help. Oh, I please. I just give and I'll pop. Don't dally. Give it your all.
This one's nice and easy to do, so... There we go. Free gesture, free exalted flesh.
I and beyond upon this. I doesn't.
You can get another one of those if you help Alexander later, but it involves going to Shifra River to get the recipe for soap pots, and I can't be bothered. Or maybe it's oil pots, I forget which. Xian, thanks so much for the 13 months. Welcome back. That's 12 months in a row, but 13 total. So I think I need one more smithing stone now. I think that's how the maths works out. He's playing a violin with a back scratcher.
Are you here as a customer?
Oh, 3 more. Okay, cool.
I'm afraid of them.
All set then. Now we'll go to Stormhill Shack and we'll tell Malno that we're off to Round Table. I will take a drink.
Very well. Let my hand rest upon you.
What if we held hands at the grace? Ezio Auditore is always a gentleman. Oh, speaking of Ezio Auditore, this is the guy who dresses a bit more like him, actually. That's another armor set possibility, but it requires a lot more doing. Let's talk to Gideon.
Very well. It is set. You, the house.
Look at this posture. Dude's always leaning. Knife run proving to be doable. It is so far. We started with the bandit's great knife, and so far we've just cheesed 3 bosses, so... Jury's still out on whether or not it can go the distance, but... Oh, I forgot we'd already used 2 smithing stones, so that's why. Yeah, we're going to skip over to Liurnia through the secret passage on the side of Stormvale. We're going to probably go and do the Dragon Heist and the what do you call it? The Crystalian Raylucara Crystal Tunnel. Want to start Elden Ring, but you've been told it's quite difficult / overwhelming. It's the most approachable Souls game. The most approachable From Software title, at least as far as the Dark Souls style thing goes. I don't know much about Armored Core. But yeah, this is definitely the game that gives you a lot of options. It's a very big game. It can be completed very quickly if you know what you're doing, but you'll probably spend a lot of time in it. And if you want a bit of easy advice, focus on leveling up your weapon, upgrading your weapon. Once you've found one that you like the feel of, every weapon can be made good. I think the difficulty often lies with people telling themselves that they have to play a certain way because the Souls community typically boasts about playing a certain way or discourages people from playing other ways. Use every tool at your disposal the first time you play through this game, as long as you are not the kind of person to challenge yourself to use less. And, like, you know, there are summonable NPCs that can help you get through fights. Those can also be upgraded. If need be, just look up a guide for how to get leveled up and upgraded quickly, and you might have a better time that way. But I think the struggle is part of the experience of this game to begin with. Yeah, I know Armored Core is a different beast when it comes to, like, all of the different parts and upgrades and stuff you can make, but I've heard a lot of people really got into Armored Core 6. So, it can't be that bad. So here's my assessment of the situation. If I try and go to Altus right now with the weapon I currently have in its current state of upgraded or not really upgraded, and fight the Black Knife Assassin now, I will probably get my butt handed to me. But if I get myself to, let's say, yeah, plus 12 or 13 on the knife, just going to let this drift over my head. Thank you very much. Grab one of these as well, because we'll need it later anyway. Can't remember the last time I actually fought that Royal Revenant. A long time ago. What would be really awesome, an Elden Ring survival guide who explain things with so much clarity. I've had a while to learn this one, but I think there are already so many other guides out there that I would really just be making it for people who watch me, and the crossover between people who watch me and people who actually care about Elden Ring is relatively slim. I'm grateful for it, of course, but I can't imagine uploading Elden Ring videos to my YouTube channel would go especially well. Could do it on the VODs channel, maybe. Let's go and get the Grace here so we can do Varre's quest later, and then let's go and steal a key from a dragon. Which class would I recommend for a beginner? I would recommend Vagabond, as long as you remove the helmet or one of the weapons at the beginning. Vagabond starts with really good armor, but the equip load is enough to make you a heavy roll, which is not ideal. So, yeah, you either want to unequip your helmet or the halberd that you start with, or maybe, like, the first opportunity you can, level endurance so that your equip load balances out and you can roll without losing iframes. The other alternatives, I think Confessor is a good one to start with, because it's got melee options and a little bit of magic. I also think Hero is pretty good if you just want to hit things with an axe, because you don't have any secondary considerations about magic use or anything. You just start with an axe and a shield, and you kick butt. Then again, some people think playing with magic is a great way to start, so I'd also recommend Astrologer or Prisoner as well. If you feel passionate about making such videos, you could just do them regardless of their potential to do good. The problem is, whenever it comes to larger channels on YouTube, and I count myself among the larger channels at this point, YouTube, unfortunately, really favors a channel performing consistently when it comes to promoting your videos in the algorithm and making sure that your videos reach the usual audience. And if it sees that a video is not doing super well, that can have a pretty strong negative impact on your channel. It's much less of a concern when you're smaller, but when you rely on YouTube for a significant chunk of your income, like I do, I try my best not to mess with the stuff that I know does well, like Minecraft videos. That is another reason that I was resistant to, and still kind of am resistant to, streaming on YouTube for a really long time, is before they had the live tab on a channel for you to go back and watch stream VODs. Any streams that you posted to your channel after having streamed live on YouTube would inevitably get way fewer views than standard videos, and it would tank the performance of your channel. But it really encourages channels to specialize once they get bigger, which I'm fine with because I'm happy to specialize in Minecraft, but it does mean that on the occasions where I develop a strong affinity for a game like this, I can't really do much about it without starting a new channel or just stream it on Twitch all the time. And it would also take time away from the stuff that I'm supposed to be doing, so. But yeah, I mean, you get that kind of commentary, hopefully, from these streams, and these streams are all uploaded to my VODs channel, so if you can pick out the key moments of those, then hopefully you'll be able to enjoy that. About to start doing Minecraft videos after a break of 7 years. It's been 7 years. So the Great Knife still does less damage than the Morning Star generally, and will definitely be better off with the Morning Star here, so I'm just going to switch to this for the duration. Oh yeah, we can't use the horse indoors. What am I doing? Can also get rid of that now. And we'll go up here and we'll get the other smithing stones, because we'll need these eventually anyway. Just step on those guys for no reason. So we should get the first 3 sombers from this. Oh, maybe not from this, actually, because there's one that you can't get from this cave. If I'm remembering correctly. We could always go and do Celia Crystal Tunnel as well if we really need upgrades for the Great Knife, but I don't think we will. Ezio is light-footed and can step over those barrels without breaking them, apparently. Doofus, thank you for the 38 months. Welcome back. Alright. time to trick this guy into walking off this bridge, hopefully. Just gonna grab these and not bother fighting anything, so... just about managed to avoid most of that. A little bit of extra damage, but not a big deal. Ow. You shot me in the back. Wait a second, there's one missing. Oh, and there's another couple over here as well that I never get. Haha! Well, hopefully that works. Nice. Oh, and we got a free Somber 3 from that guy. Oh, no, there is one here. Huh, okay. Yeah, so we get the first 3 Somber Smithing Stones from that. That's good. Then we have this fight, for which the physic will not help me at all because I haven't even set it up yet. There's the stagger, which means he's a lot easier to kill. I should put wild strikes on this thing just for this fight. There's our bell bearing, and from here we'll probably just warp out to the round table hold. Rodrika's already here because we went to Liurnia. We shouldn't need spirit tuning this time around, but we'll see how well the knife does.
I took you no matter. Lay out your own.
Where'd you take me? Oh, hang on. Wrong weapon. My bad. The greatest knife.
Back all no matter.
Okay, we need 6 more of those, and then we should have enough 3s to get us through... Oh, almost. Almost. But we're about to go and get the smithing... The bell bearing for smithing 3 and 4, so... that should be fine. Hello, Ensha. Looking forward to killing you later if we need to. Which we do need to, actually, because we need to get to the Halig Tree this run. We'll buy this, because that's for free. I mean, it's not. It's 3,000 runes, but, you know. We can now at least get to +8. Which should be okay for just quickly running through Sealed Tunnel on Altus. And then we'll be able to get all the way up to +13. Not planning on going to the DLC for this run, so we don't need to meet Yura here. Because we don't want to fight Moog. Ooh, a dusky view of 4 belfries tonight. Let's go and get the golden seed from down here as well, because it's not too far off the beaten path. Have I completed 100% of the game? I've definitely done some runs which are pretty close. I've definitely done all bosses runs before. I do not have all the achievements on Steam because some of those require you to get like a bunch of spells or accessories which are not necessarily ones I get in every playthrough. I've never done a full 100% playthrough where you obtain every weapon in the game or whatever, but we're obtaining every weapon one at a time using fresh characters here, so we will see if I ever end up doing like a 100% run at any stage. I've definitely fought all the bosses, though. That we know for certain. That has been well documented. Since we haven't fought Margit yet, and because it'll be pretty easy to backtrack, I'm actually going to skip doing anything at Frenzied Flame Village right now. We'll just come back and do that later. The Battle Axe lives on, it does. Missing the vanilla ending achievement only. I do Rani or Chaos too much. I mean, it's pretty easy to get hold of that one. But the Rani and Frenzied Flame endings are really the only good ones. I mean, they're not good in the sense that they are good outcomes, but they are the only endings that feel like they are worth getting, because the standard ending and any of the other NPC endings are pretty bland cutscene-wise and don't really advance the plot of the game. They don't feel like a conclusion so much as a continuation, and I guess that's sort of the point. The history of Souls games, worlds being cyclic as it typically is, but I do like the fact that with both Rani and Frenzy Flame, it feels like you've achieved something. Could do 100% run at the end of the A to Z. That's one of the things I was thinking, yes, was for the Zweihander run, we just get everything. But then that's going to be in like 8 years' time, so... Only the very vanilla ending counts as the achievement. I did Dung Eater's Mending Rune. Turns out Mending Rune ends don't count. No, you have to get the Age of Fracture ending as like the standard one, quote unquote. Alright, we're on Altus. In theory, we could go and get the weapon now, provided I was able to survive the fight, but I still don't know if I can. So we'll gather up a bit more upgrade material. We'll gather a couple more golden seeds. And we will aim to kick some butt. Once we have the upgrades, and I will attempt the Black Knife Assassin fight, after that I might take a bathroom break, regardless of whether we win or lose. I think I'm going to need the concentration one way or the other. We also need to go and get more Sombers. But we'll get the 5 on the way. To the assassin fight. Which means all we need to do is go and find a 4 or go and buy one from EG, and we'll have everything we need to get the Black Knife up to +5. Mogan Palace quest will get us the rest of the way. Even if we're not fighting Moog. I do like a somber weapon just because of how easy it is to get to them with standard weapon upgrades and then still have a full set of smithing stones available to upgrade the somber with afterwards. I think even in my original playthrough, I didn't bother fighting these tree sentinels until later. Out of the runs I've already done, which weapons pleasantly surprised me? I think the pleasant surprise lately was Bastard Stars, which is the Astel Natural Born of the Void remembrance weapon. That one I was not expecting to like nearly as much as I did. It was our first flail weapon, and standard attacks with a flail, fine. The Ash of War on Bastard Stars, genuinely broken. Very, very cool. Outside of that, I knew I was going to like the Anvil Hammer, and I very much did. I was pretty sure I was going to like the Backhand Blade, and I very much did. Those have been my other favorites so far. But there have been some fun ones that were fairly bland propositions as far as weapons go, but ended up as a pretty decent run. Like the Banished Knight's Halberd was our fastest run for a while. And both of the Beastman curved swords, which we only did very recently, were very, very fun weapons to use. Like Bastard Stars more because it looks goofy because of the nature of it being a flail and just dangling everywhere. Yes, I will freely admit, running with a flail looks awful. Like, it's constantly hitting you in the leg and stuff, and it's like, no, this... None of this looks pleasant. But, yeah, frankly, it was a very, very fun weapon to use. We'll go and get the other golden seeds now, just so we have even more red flasks, just in case the Black Knife Assassin is as punishing as I expect it to be. Yeah, the thing about Bastard Stars for me, though, is that, like, there are so few weapons that have that amount of almost, like, vibrant character to them. Like, there are so few weapons that are just, like, big, glowy, colourful things. A lot of the weapons are just kind of dull swords or whatever. But there's definitely some in there that aren't, and some that can be made to glow, like, you know, Darkmoon Greatsword or whatever, but I do think there's a lot to be said for a weapon being very cartoonish in such a grim world that I quite like. Okay, right, back to Round Table. I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to buy all of the smithing stones we need and the upgrades, because I don't really have great purse right now, but we can always go and fight Margit if we need extra runes, and we'll need to get through Godrick at some point anyway. Just like to be able to acquire this weapon before that. So we need one of those. And now we need, like, 11 of these. Stretchy weapons are fun to use, at least for a little while. Arumi is a favorite. Yeah, it's the kind of sword whip one, right? I'm also really looking forward to, like, the Nox flowing weapons, because those are way different to most weapons in terms of how they work. Okay, we're at plus 10. Don't really think I can get especially much more upgraded here. There'll be a couple of places we can get some easy, like, big runes, but yeah, we can get like 3 more of these, but not 4. 600 more runes. Can I afford another one? I didn't really pay attention to how expensive they are. Yeah, they're 900. Okay, so we can get this thing up to plus 11 for now. There's a few of those, like, grave sites around where there's a handful of easy runes. But honestly, I'm kind of tempted to see if we ride up from Altus Highway, warp over, and then go to the hero's grave from there. Are we able to beat Black Knife Assassin now? Or is he just gonna, or she rather, going to completely wipe me out? I also need to apply the golden seeds, but we'll do that in a second. Oh. I do like the Wandering Nobles voice, for want of a better word. Like, the exclamations they make. The fact that half the time they're just like, "Ugh!" They just sound very distressed all of the time. Compared to these guys who go, "Huh!" Right, we will grab this. The nobles, not the merchants. Oh, I like the merchants too. Yeah, the merchants' music that they play is very cool. Especially haunting when you find the area under the capital. And all of the implications that that has. Okay, Windmill Village ahoy. That tree is looking nice and bright. Although perhaps not as bright as it will be later. About to get shot at by catapults in a second. But maybe we can avoid that by going this way. Who doesn't have a parkourable hole under the capital city filled with piles of corpses? Very few people, I imagine. That's our Somber 5, so we still need a 4, but we are doing better with regards to that. Oh, and there's also a graveyard over here that might have some useful runes for our current budget, although it is filled with wolves. Oh no, it's not wolves, it's poison flowers. Well, that I can probably manage. Could be worse. It's always really funny seeing random bloodstains around places like this. I'm like, what did you run into? Or did you just use the seppuku skill too many times to confuse people? Invasions? Probably invasions, actually. That's fair. So right over there is where we get the black knife from. We haven't actually applied any of the mixed physic tiers yet, so I'm not going to go there right away. I will quickly go and get this sacred tier from down here. And then we're going to have ourselves a knife fight. Okay, so here's the thing. Maybe I should go back to Leonia and get the Dex Knot Crystal tier, because we don't have anything that Faith is really going to help right now. It should be pretty easy to get from here. You need to beeline as much as possible to where you find the weapon in each playthrough. That is what I typically do. I'm not, like, setting myself incredibly strict guidelines for how I play, but the general idea is try and complete as much as reasonably possible of the weapon with... of the game with the weapon that's the star of the show for that run. But sometimes I just pick in a weapon that seems like close enough just to get us to the point where we're able to acquire the weapon and with the experience of using a similar weapon. So if it's like, in this case, a dagger that I don't really have much experience using that weapon class, I typically pick a a dagger that I will be able to use in the interim, so that I get used to the playstyle and it's not such a big adjustment when I actually acquire the weapon. How weapons post-endgame boss is going to work? New Game Plus. Anything after Fire Giant, we do a New Game Plus run for. We had our first one of those, actually, with the Beastman's Curved Sword, which you can only really farm from Farum Azula. So we did that, and Axe of Godfrey would have been one of those, but we did a randomizer for that instead, so... Okay, time to get my butt kicked by a Black Knife Assassin. Let's see how this goes. We're still using Radagon's Saw Seal as well, so we'll get extra dex and strength from that, but we'll also be slightly more prone to damage, especially from higher damage attacks. I don't know how easy these guys are to parry, so we're just going to go with the element of surprise. Okay, that basically took off more than the flask healed, and now I'm cornered. Not my favorite. Okay, cool, you can parry them. Great. Now I've learned that, this should be a slightly easier fight, although... Don't want to count my chickens. Especially because I'm not very good at parrying complex attacks. Nice, good. Yeah, the crit damage on this thing is decent once it's upgraded, so... Just gonna make sure I heal this. Make sure I avoid that. Okay, that is at least an attack I know the timing of, so we can be slightly better off against that one. Dang it, yeah, I thought so. Okay, well, I think I can do this. We got them down to half health and I was just trying a bunch of stuff to see what worked, so... What's up, Razors? Welcome in. Let us try that again. Where's my runes? Oh, they're over here. Okay. Nice. See, that one I know how to actually parry. This one they give me enough time to counter. Okay, that one I just screwed up the timing. A little unfortunate. The problem is, unless I'm given an attack like that I can parry reasonably well, I can't do a ton of damage. Okay, yeah, avoid that attack at all costs, basically. I'm having such a hard time parrying that now. Yeah, okay. Okay. We can be a bit more aggressive here. I'm just trying to get too fancy with the parries. I need to actually focus on dealing damage instead of getting the upper hand. Need to get versatile. Now my problem is I've run out of stamina. Duh. Nyah. Rough. Black Knife health drain is so rough as well. That's probably my only decent chance to heal fully, is when they do the overhead. There we go. Okay, got the timing on that better this time. Yeah, okay, outmaneuvered. Nothing inside that hood. I think this is doable, though. I think we just need to try a couple more times. Keep the focus. Half health on the first attempt was somehow the best we did. But I gotta not get desperate with heals. Find the window. Oh. Pretty rough to get that as a counter. Nice, okay. Take that. Okay, that time the timing didn't feel right. I think there's a couple of different versions of that. One that involves, like, dragging the knife on the ground more than the other. It's very odd. Okay, that time we can get the heal. Yeah, that one I can parry. The other one I can't, seemingly. Really got to try and bait that attack out. Or that one, of course. That we can get a couple of good hits in. Yeah, that one didn't have the, like, trail of sparks from the knife dragging on the ground, so for whatever reason, doesn't let me parry it as easily. Okay, quick heal. Oh, okay, you're... I thought it was... She was going invisible. Wow, that's a maneuver. Can I get a quick step like that? Okay, that time it worked out, so I think I'm probably wrong about the parry thing. Okay, not bad, not bad. This is the furthest we've got through that health bar. And that time I tried to parry and it just wouldn't let me. Again. We could try doing this without Radagon's Source Seal, but I do think it's probably providing me more health than it is hurting me right now. Is there an ash you could add to the dagger? Oh, there's plenty, yeah. But I'm trying not to invest too much into this dagger that I'm just going to put down once we're successful in this fight anyway. Silly though that seems to have like an aversion to upgrading the weapon that we're trying to use to obtain this one. Okay, that time the parry just wasn't ready. Okay, ready for it that time. Take the time to heal. Mostly try not to overuse my stamina where I have it. Nice. Narrowing down the timing a little bit here. That's one we can counter after as well. Okay, better this time. They're so quick. Didn't quite get close enough for the parry that time. Nice. Doing okay. Just Got to be a little bit careful of any extra damage coming my way. Okay, this is good. Don't get too fancy with it. Position reset, nothing to worry about. Free heal. I hit block by mistake that time. That was my bad. Panic healing didn't really do much for me either. Okay, this really feels like we've earned the knife doing it this way, so I feel happy with this. Oh, if that had hit me, that might have been the end of me that time. Need to heal, need to heal. Thank you. Just trying to find an opening for that. Assassinated. Cool. Felt good. Felt good acquiring that knife. And now we don't have enough faith to use it, but we have plenty of ways of acquiring enough faith to use it. And the faith may just be for the Ash of War as well, because Blade of Death is a real fun one. I like the landing pose as well. That's very nice. Okay, GG folks, we can go ahead and get this upgraded. Such a cool design as well.
Well, I took you no matter. Lay out your
You took me for dead? Yeah, I died a few times, but that's neither here nor there. So we need one of these. It's very cheap to upgrade because of the weight. Let's go see EG. Black Knife was teaching you how to use the tools of the trade, yeah. So this is how you assassinate people. That's for Belfries. We can probably just ride to EG through this way. Yeah, Marshall, that's the idea, is to get the Black Knife Assassin armor set as well. So we will need to go and do Commander Niall and all of the other Haligtree Consecrated Snowfield requirements. But, I mean, it's just under a bridge in Ordina, so we don't even need to solve the Ordina Everjail, I think. Working your first playthrough with Spike Cestus right now, my favorite weapon, probably. The weapon that I have done the most ridiculous stuff with. Do you have, like, a build specifically? Or are you just, like, using the Spike Cestus and whatever you can find? You're running high strength, heavy affinity. I mean, that's how you do it. That's the thing. Like, that's what you want for Spike Cestus, really. My setup for Spike Cestus was using the Blue Dancer charm and having no armor equipped. Which meant, because it's such a light weapon, you get a really decent boost to your attack. I think it's close to 15%.
I presume. Oh, I am an old so perhaps.
So let's buy one of those. We shouldn't need the Carrion Filigree, although Blade of Death should be a fun skill to use. We'll see if we can maybe get Shard of Alexander to boost the damage from that. You'll have to see if you have that charm. It's really off the beaten path to find it, so I'd be surprised, because it's definitely one of the ones I missed on my first playthrough. But it's in Limgrave.
Well, I took you no matter. Lay out your own.
Okay, that's a +5 now. We'll get the +6 from fighting Magnus, who we can hopefully fight with this thing, provided that I can level Faith. We need to get Faith up 3 more points, which shouldn't be too difficult, but I don't know if I have the runes for a level. Right, we're going to take a very short break here. I will figure out ways to get runes while I run to the bathroom. Be right back. Hello, I'm back. Okay, Black Knife. What are we going to do with this thing, eh? Well, there's a couple of places we can get some easy runes, the first of which is fighting Margit. The problem is, if I can't use this weapon, I will have to use the Great Knife. I'm trying to think if there's anywhere we can get, like, Lord's runes and stuff like that from being a fight guy. I don't know. Let's at least go back to Altus. I'm aiming to get Black Knife Tish as a summon. No, I think I'll probably be my own Black Knife Tish. I can still do damage with it. So is the faith requirement just for using the skill? Because I can hit a Demi-Human for 200 or so damage. It's not awful, is it? Unfortunately, still low vigor, still Radagon Source Seal. No Razor's Edge, I'm not interested in anybody dropping stuff for me. These are all going to be single-player runs unless there's seamless co-op with somebody else who I want to stream with. But no, I'm not having anybody drop stuff for me. Otherwise, I could just have people drop the weapon for me at the beginning of every run. It just doesn't seem like the thing I want to do. Oh, ow. Forgot she's got like longer combos. Let's try one more time. I kind of want to get the Ritual Sword Talisman just for all of the talismans in my setup being weapons of some kind. Ouch. I got bit. I got bit. Easy. That works. So the thing about that is it brings our dex and strength back down and our vigor back down. Let's get out of here and get the golden seed that's out here. Grab the grace as well. Also need to figure out what I'm doing for Sacred Seal, but there's always the Finger Seal. The closest we'd get to, like, Black Knife is Black Flame, and that's, like, the God Slayer's Seal, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't really care for it. Oh, so close. Right. 1 point into faith. Let's go and fight Margit, because evidently this thing is doing enough damage that we can take on bosses, so we don't need to worry as much about the Ash of War if that's the only reason to get the faith requirement. Could replace Soul Seal with a Great Rune? Yeah, it's always a possibility. I could also swap Strength Knot for Faith Knot. And now, if I drink the Flask of Physic, I can use it. So there's an idea. What up, Margit? Been a while. Thought you were the longbow last time. Look what's changed.
Emboldened by the flame of ambition.
The black flame of ambition in this case. 3-point landing for this lad. Yeah, Godrick's is +5 to all stats. I was just trying to figure out whether I needed to fight Margit first, or if I could get away with it. Pretty cool. Ash of War, though.
Well, thou art of passing skill. Warrior blood must truly run in thy veins. Tarnished.
Oh, we got a little hit there. Yeah. We manage. Godrick ahoy! Like a black knife through butter, yes. We'll see how this does against Magnus the Beast Claw, but then we'll... Shut up. We'll be able to get to Varre's quest stuff tonight and level between streams.
Well, but of course.
Other thing I want to do is go and get the dagger talisman. Is this an endgame weapon? Nope. And currently only upgraded to +5. Oh, we got 4 this time, huh? Oh, come on, my timing is off. Seriously, I thought I was outside of the range. Yeah, I'll be back in a second. Don't worry about me. I'm still here. I mean, it helps if you can see more of the screen, surely. We're not here to see the game. We're here to see the streamer. And I appreciate that. Any weapons ends game if you know what you're doing with it. That's true. We've beat Radagon with a torch before. We did just beat him with a bow earlier, so... One more point into Faith, much as I want to keep putting it into Dex. Pix live cam isn't the main focus. I mean, occasionally it is when I forget that I'm on, like, this screen, and I'm like, so guys, yeah, we're running through Stormvale right now. Oh my god, there's so many enemies. Ah, I'm fighting all of them with both hands tied behind my back. I'm like, yeah, maybe not, yeah? Missed me. Yeah, the old wrong scene ploy. Oh, this guy's gonna follow me all the way up the steps. The audio-only Elden Ring experience, yes. Cheeky. Wow, okay. He turned to look at the wall, which exploded. Bye-bye. Based on what I was saying alone, I was trying to figure out who this would be. Unfortunately, he doesn't look much like him until we acquire the right armor, but I think we'll manage. Anyway, let's fight Godrick. Fortunately, after this, we don't have much to do for Varre's quest, because we've been to Altus already, and we've got the Grace at the Dectus lift, so we can go and do the Church of Inhibition stuff.
Deliver me unto greater
Why does no one pick up the multiplayer item? I used to pick it up all the time, but then I realized that, like a lot of other items in this game, I can just skip it. I've gotten in the habit of ignoring the items that I don't need enough that it doesn't bother me anymore.
I command thee, kneel! I am the Lord of all that is golden.
There's only one Lord who is golden, and he does not share power. Okay, that does have a range, it turns out. I do like that attack a lot. It's very flashy and stylish. Also, does this thing do bleed? No, okay. Worth knowing. Somehow managed to stagger him with a dagger. He fell over. Oh, come on. We had to do it in the stylish way, right?
Golden. And one day we'll return together.
We both had the magic pixel a little bit.
Bathed in rays of gold.
Big finish. Heck yeah. Okay, that's got us enough that we don't need to worry about using the mixed physic tier anymore, although we will continue using it. Let's go and activate Godrick's Great Rune as well to give us a few extra points. Best Great Rune in the game. I still think either Radagon's or Morgott's is better for endgame, but for everything else, there's nothing better. Mohg's is probably the only one I think we will never use. There's a couple of builds that I've heard work really well for Malenias, but it does involve beating Malenia, so... Maybe we'll go for those if it feels like there's a good opportunity to, you know? Did we get the weapon? Yes, we did. Excuse me. Who are we heading to right now? Gonna activate Godrick's Great Rune, do Varre's quest, and probably wrap up the stream at Mohgwyn Palace. Although we could go and get the Dagger Talisman, we could go and get the Gold Scarab. That I think we'll definitely do. Should also be wearing this. If you're beating Malenia, there's no need to change the build because you're way into the game at that point. Yeah, I think it's ready for New Game Plus stuff, right? Dagger Talisman is most of Volcano Manor dungeon, which you can get to more easily by getting abducted at Ray Lucaria or Carrier Manor or any of the other Abductor Virgin locations that actually warp you to Volcano Manor, but then you can kind of glitch your way into the prison town area. It's beyond that double Stone Sword key gate near the teleport to Rykard. We've got 3 Stone Sword keys, we could make that happen. Grabbing anything from the DLC? No, not on this run. If it's a base game weapon, we typically stick to base game unless it's like, you know, we're beating Moog anyway. The 2-handed sword talisman sounds like a good idea. That kind of thing. Anyway, we need to go back to Table of Lost Grace to talk to the 2 fingers. And then that will open up Varre's quest for us to do.
You've died. Let's anchor until it will tragic across the far. But the Crystalian seek to become Leto.
Alright. And now we go to a guy who's like, are you sure about that? And I'm like, no, I'm not sure about that. Funny how Varre and Ymir are kind of 2 sides of the same coin, right? Who tore up the map and scattered it everywhere? Good question. I think the roadside stells are basically like tourist information.
My words are truly, I believe, even words. That's the. Oh, a means for give it a try, and if it, I've high hope.
All right. They get the talisman pouch from Enya. No, we haven't beaten 2 shard bearers yet. We just beat 1. 1 is what you need for Varre's quest. 2 is what you need for talisman pouch. But I have the second talisman pouch, so we're already doing a bit of extra damage. This way? Shout out to whoever put this rock here. Prevent me from taking lethal fall damage. And let's go fight Magnus. Does Dagner Insignia work with the fist weapons? I mean, it does if you crit, I suppose. But I think there are better things to have with the fist weapons. Winged Sword Insignia and Millicent's Prosthesis being the main 2. Forgot you need 2 shard bearers? Yeah. Yeah, no, I know the requirements for, like, the basic progression too well at this point. Now here's a question. Will we be able to hit Magnus the Beastclaw with Blade of Death? No, because he dodges. Yeah, that's the problem. This thing has a very stand there and let me hit you kind of Ash of War. So, we've got to be a little more careful about this guy and not get locked into combos. One more again. Wow, somehow that didn't hit me. I'm no idea how. Oh, that's rough. I think we traded there. It's a fun one. Ow. Uh-oh. Yeah, I couldn't get past the rock. Also, the barrier is right there anyway. I thought it was around the other side of this for some reason. KB, what up? It's been a while. How are you? The trademark jumper is like in a drawer somewhere right now. It's been a while. This isn't even the guy you get the beast claw weapon from. No, exactly. Busy but fine. How's you? Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I am playing a combination of Minecraft and Elden Ring these days, so, you know, masochism prevails and all that. Are you the kind of busy where you'd rather be busy than bored, or are you just craving silence at this point? Just saw you on saying hi before getting back to real world stuff. Of course, of course. Wouldn't keep you longer than we needed to. Almost got hit by that one. It's lucky I didn't. Okay, not bad. I was very tempted to just stay near him after that one. Okay, good. Glad we made it work on the third try. I see me rebuild the anthill from Empire Season 1 in the solo worlds. Maybe sometime. I'm not opposed to the idea in theory. Thanks, KB. Take care of yourself, yeah? Okay, we are basically all done here with the exception of maybe going to Eleanor's church.
Well, that's just prime.
BP, thank you for that Prime sub. Appreciate it. See, KB, it worked. They knew what you meant. You did a thing. Looking forward to seeing how these playthroughs progress. It's going to be a wild ride. The next one's going to be a DLC weapon. In fact, the next two are DLC weapons, which is going to be very fun. And then after that, I think there's a pretty long stretch. Oh god, the nobles found me. I think, yeah, there's a pretty long stretch of base game weapons, but there's a lot of fun stuff coming up in the bees. You have the DLC in a beat mode but haven't gone in yet? Ah. Okay, where to now? Where to now? I think maybe we go into Rey Lucaria after we've seen Varre. We try to get kidnapped to Volcano Manor. We try and get the dagger talisman from there. And then I focus a bit more on parrying. I feel like being able to stagger stuff and using this as an actual dagger seems like it's gonna help somewhat. Really interested in dry leaf arts. One of the first weapons I went for, did not regret it. Genuinely really cool. Especially if you're a Spiked Cestus user, you'll find the additional martial arts stuff very fun.
You have a I wish to a knight luminary. So now for normally the
Alright, off to Church of Inhibition then. Let's do Grand Lift and then south. Gonna get the Raven armor. Probably not, just because there's gonna be other stuff that we will want to do with this dagger. But jump attacks are just my standard thing anyway. They're just good for enemies not predicting what you're trying to do or getting outside of attack range. A lot of jumping in this game helps a great deal, I've found. Okay, so which way do we want to go this time? I'm going to say Spirit Spring. The sneaky way. Oh, got hit by every rat on the way up, but we made it. Like the idea of fighting like some badass warrior monk. I always play monks in D&D, so when the opportunity for like a martial arts based playstyle occurs in games like this, I usually take it. Okay, well I guess we're not gonna worry about madness this time around. Let's get Howl of Shabriri just because we might want buffs later. It's a pretty hefty buff for a decent duration. This isn't a flame-based build, so Flame Grant Me Strength isn't going to give us anything extra. Which monk subclass is my favorite? I have been playing a Drunken Master in our 5e campaign that we stream on Twitch over at 8-Bit Community. I've been playing him for like 3 years, but we just did a respec because our ranger played Baldur's Gate 3 and decided that he'd been playing a ranger all wrong and wanted a chance to respec between modules. So now we're doing Tales from the Yawning Portal with some of the adventures upscaled to our current characters, and I have changed subclass from Drunken Master to Astral Self. Didn't realize I streamed D&D. Yeah, I don't make a huge song and dance of it because it's like a chill campaign that we play on 8-Bit Community's channel. But, yeah, I've been doing that for a while, and it's always a delight. Get back. We don't even technically need to fight Vike here, but I will. Okay, we got him that time. Nice. You've really got to time that well. There's so much going on in my Discord right now. Probably tried to put your spoon in the microwave and the mug of chocolate in the sink. Yeah, maybe don't put metal things in the microwave. Just a heads up about that. Didn't know we had a separate channel. Yeah, 8-Bit Community is not my project. It's the Minecraft community that the Hot Dish, Minnesota Toz, and Boz all run together. And yeah, they have their community Minecraft server, and a bunch of other stuff comes up around that, including Dish, Toz, and a few other folks from the 8-Bit server all coming together to play a D&D campaign. And I'm not on the 8-Bit server, but I know those guys pretty well now, so... Gonna be a difficult weapon for a playthrough. Vike Spear, no boss takes madness. Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, that's the one we can get him with Blade of Death for. Ouch. Okay, quick heals. Yep, you as well. Just going to avoid getting hit with madness if we can. Ah, dang it. The stun, like the fact that it freezes you in place for... Is he teabagging? Is this Vike's equivalent of teabagging? Hello? This is a computer-controlled NPC. And he's still just doing a little dance. Oh my god, dude. I've never been disrespected by this game so hard, I swear. Like, it's a good thing he doesn't have a crouch animation, because I feel like he would have been doing it in that moment. Come on, dude. Oh, it's personal now. We're going after this man with a vengeance. Oh. Well, that's a clip, if anyone wants to clip it. Nice. Unbelievable. I mean, again, I guess I am pretty low on vigor compared to usual, but man. Also really wish there was a stake of Marika up here. To be fair, I could just run past him to the church, but where's the fun in that? Plan to run a D&D campaign in Minecraft itself? Yeah, like, if you've got a grid, use it, right? Like, I know a couple of Hermitcraft seasons ago, Joe Hill's base was a scale model of the Castle Ravenloft dungeon from Curse of Strahd, so people have done it, and it's proven pretty successful. There's also currently, I think, a new D&D map available for Bedrock Edition, where they've had a collab with Wizards of the Coast. So Minecraft and D&D is the zeitgeist right now. Chat, I've just remembered something crucial. I can parry. Although that doesn't help with madness attacks. Maybe we could try it against some of the melee attacks. Well, that didn't help much, did it? But can I parry well? Not against this guy. Definitely think it could be a thing. It could be a thing. Yeah, the thing about Vike's Spear is that it works very well against you, because the whole thing about Madness is it's a status effect that only Tarnished are vulnerable to. But if you're not doing any NPC fights, then it's kind of useless. Madness in general as an effect is very underpowered. You can still do faith-based attack damage with it, but the Madness effect doesn't proc on basically any bosses that aren't just NPCs. Okay, that time we at least got a little bonus damage off to begin with. What? I was above you. How's he done this? I demand to know how you did this. Every time, dude. Every time he just stuns me and sticks a spear in my ribs. Did get a PvP kill with Madness Eye Beams. I was laughing. It's fun. It's fun when you can do it. That's the only spell, I'm pretty sure, that has the range to hit the bird at Mogwin Palace. The range is legendarily long, yeah. Okay, let's make this the one, shall we? Okay, he still found me. Alright, I'll just do it again. Okay, apparently just had no stamina at the end of that one. Yep, he got me with that. Oh, look at his health. Look at his health. Nope, he's going to hit me with the madness again. He's going to do it. Okay, good. He's backing off. I can heal. And then I severed his arteries and he was no longer. Well, finally that's over. I still cannot believe he teabagged, dude. That's so funny. Sometimes you think a game is all about swords and large creatures and then bam, lasers. Lasers will do it. Lasers will do it. I also need to see... Oh, this thing does have like half holy damage. That's going to be a problem in late game. Then again, the stacking health debuff thing is probably going to be alright for us. The light back there looks like a frog light, yeah? Finally, we can talk to Varre about this situation.
And with this, a knight. Now, this...
feel like we've earned it.
Oh, good heavens.
Just one hit the invader from near maximum range. Nice.
Or something.
That's fun. Okay.
For it is what you have. Oh.
Bye. Get away from me, Varre. Okay, now we're at Mogun Palace. We can get a few more of the... Of course, I forgot about that part. We can get a few more of the upgrade materials. We need to get this knife to maximum. We can... I just realized we never upgraded it to +6, did we? But yeah, we can go and get the +7 from the sewers. And then we'll... have to fight, what's-his-face to do that, right? Draconic Tree Sentinel. So maybe that can wait. Love the content because even when you do get frustrated, you're still fairly calm and reasonable. Oh yeah, like I've never been the kind of person to like scream and whine and break stuff. Like, it's just not me. Which, frankly, I think my bank balance thanks me for. What are those things? Best not to worry about it. Don't worry about it too much. Chat, do I have something sticking out of my back? No, it's literally like it's attached to me like a bug. I'm wearing it like a sidearm. Free Reduvia. Okay, it's gone now. It's evaporated or whatever. Excuse me, fellas. Worth it. Reduvia and Black Knife is a great dagger combo. Oh, I'm sure, yeah. These guys doing this little, like, musical chairs kind of walk around. So funny. Now then. First of all, finally, Godrick's Great Rune. Now that I'm through the bit where we would just be dying over and over again. Let's go back to Mausoleum entrance, right out to the other place. Sneak around here. Grab one of these. Not that one. Not that one. This one. I think there's another one over there somewhere that I just haven't got yet. Excuse me, gents. Rune farm discovered. And yep, that should be all good. Now let's briefly go to Caelid and go and do Cleanrot Knight Duo. And then I'll need to remind myself of where the dagger talisman is. Then the only other thing we need to do is grab a Smithing Stone 7 from Lanedale. Unless there's a useful one on Gelmir that we can get to. Like if there's one in Volcano Manor somewhere. Just gonna briefly check. Every time I start a faith build, I always forget I should just go and get Flame Cleanse Me for this bit. Just realised I could jump to that branch and that I know enough about parkour to do it now. So... Dagger Talisman increases critical damage by 17%. Helpful. Oh yeah, I know the one. I know the one. It's easy enough to get to, we just have to beat Godskin Noble. Just in case we want those for later, I guess. Why is it always bug? I have once again forgotten to go and get a lantern, or prevented myself from getting a lantern, I guess, so sorry that it's a little dark down here. We'll get into the boss room shortly. Try not to get hit by these things every time. So that you missed Minecraft stream a few hours ago because dinner? Hey, no worries. That's what the VODs are for, and... yeah, if you need to go get some rest, I completely understand. Ow. Just gonna quickly get a heal off. Thank you. Thankfully this guy's not throwing discus at me all the time. The other one almost like leapt to his defense. Oh no. Well, that's unusual. And no Stake of Marika for that one, huh? Oh, dang it. Backstep, backstep. Oh, well. We didn't have any runes anyway. Kind of messed up the movement in there. Again, I should just go and get Flame Cleanse Me before this, but... there we go. Easier is better. Kill the rats. Just punch this guy. I'm assessing the situation. What I'm learning is that I should have put more points into Vigor when we did our big level up earlier. There we go. I like the fact that you can poise through that. Get a decent little hyper armor, I suppose, from this. Nice. That went better. We now have the most important talisman and can give up on the most awkward one. Okay, as far as the stream goes, I think we'll call it there. But I think we will probably end up leveling at Mohgwyn. We'll go and get the dagger talisman. Frankly, though, unless I plan on parrying a lot, I'm not sure the dagger talisman has a permanent place in our arsenal. We've also got these that we can use if we want to level up a little later, but for now, I think maybe I'll just use the budget I have to go and buy some arrows, and then we can do a little bit of leveling. This weapon's cool as hell. It is pretty cool. I think if you've got a good read on your opponent's moves, and as long as they aren't super evasive like the NPCs are, you can do pretty well in terms of using that Ash of War, like the weapon skill, tactically. For now, though, we're going to rest at Mohgwyn Palace, and we will call it a night for this stream. Next stream, we'll see how far we get. We might end up finishing the game, but daggers seem to be a tricky one. I feel like they're good, again, good support weapons, good to pull out and crit stuff with, but using it as the primary weapon, the star of the show, we'll see how it goes. But remember, we're also going to be aiming for using stuff like the Malekith's Blackblade incantation and stuff, so we will obviously start building for that, and maybe we'll be able to do a little better. For now, though, it's time to shoot some birds and wrap up the stream there. Friends, I'll drop you off with somebody else here on Twitch. If you're interested in joining the raid, then just stick around. And a lot of people lately have been playing Skyrim, so we're going to send you over to one such person. Go and say hi to Apothic Decay for me. You can use your Pixel Hype emotes and the hashtag Pixel Raid to show some love. Becca is doing their first actual playthrough of Skyrim, apparently. And Skyrim is another game I've never played, so I'll be lurking and taking notes, probably, in case I ever actually get around to playing it. For now, folks, have a good one. I'll be back with you folks on next Tuesday, because this weekend is going to be a very RPG-heavy weekend, starting on Friday, and then we'll do like another 8-bit community stream on Sunday, I believe. But yeah, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Have a good one. Take care. Bye for now.